There is power in personal stories. It connects us, it empowers us, and it holds us accountable. It creates understanding and expands our perspective. This is Big in the Community with Jonathan James at the Kalamazoo Promise, a podcast aimed to highlight local leaders, collaborators, and innovators in the greater Kalamazoo community. All right, welcome. We are back again. Somehow they did not cancel our episodes. We are still going strong, 6 episodes in. It takes little to be big. That's a little thing that I saw on a website that I thought was kind of inspirational. So I looked up a quote I wanted to say before we get started. Some people think they are in community, but they are only in proximity. True community requires commitment and openness. It is a willingness to extend yourself to encounter and know the other. And that's David Spangler. So today, it takes little to be big. We have our guest, Kyrone Maye, from Big Brother, Big Sister of Kalamazoo, mentoring relationship specialist for sports buddies.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. And then also, you also do grant writing, correct?
Correct.
For Men of Purpose.
Men of Purpose, yeah.
Yeah. So, how long have you been here in Kalamazoo and in your 2 various roles?
Yeah. So, I would say about a year or 2 now.
Okay.
So I live in Battle Creek, but I've been commuting pretty much since college.
Okay.
Yep.
Where'd you go to college?
Yeah, Western Michigan.
Okay.
2014 graduate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know that. I just
right.
I'm
No, I
asking
got you
for the podcast.
No, I got you. I got you.
So, what did you what brought you back to Kalamazoo?
Yeah. So, in going to Western, I definitely saw a lot of the similar things in Battle Creek, where there's a lot of youth that aren't being served. And just a little backstory, I got my degree in PR, public relations,
okay,
and then I was going to grad school for public administration with an emphasis on nonprofit leadership. And so there's a lot of youth who don't necessarily have a lot of things to engage in outside of school. If you're not into sports but into other things, there wasn't a lot of activities, just to keep them off the streets. And so between Kalamazoo and Battle Creek, there was just a big population of kids, and kids that have my heart. So that's kind of what's kept me within the nonprofit sector between both.
Okay. So let's take it back a little bit more.
Okay.
As far back as you want to go.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about your background, where you grew up, if you want to do that.
Oh, yeah.
School, whatever.
Yeah. So born and raised in Battle Creek, went to Battle Creek Central, graduated 2010. Big basketball guy. I mean, when I was playing, Kalamazoo Central was real good, so I think they were winning states at the time.
Yeah, I think we were pretty good.
They are, yeah, all right. But ended up going to Western. Like I said, studied PR, public relations. Graduated 2014, and then soon, a couple years after that, I started grad school. And so, like I said, public administration with an emphasis on nonprofit leadership. And my mom, from Detroit area, went to Cass Tech, big education type of background, and so kind of was raised academics, so like all the way through. So.
Okay, so you had that support system already. You had somebody that was kind of
definitely
bringing that out of you. That's awesome. So how in your roles in Kalamazoo, how do you engage with the Kalamazoo community?
Yeah, so with my current role at Big Brothers Big Sisters, my role is the MRS, Mentoring Relationship Specialist. And so pretty much it's a sports program that's held 3 to 4 times. We have 3 to 4 activities per month where kids can meet up with a mentor, an adult, and go to like a WMU football game, basketball game, rock climbing. And so a lot of my work is just to manage that relationship between the youth in Kalamazoo and then, of course, the mentor.
Okay. That's awesome. How long has this program been around?
So it actually began this past January,
okay,
but they needed somebody to come in and kind of create the infrastructure of the program. And so I began in this past May, so it's been about 5 months now.
Okay. That's awesome. Thank you for the work you're doing.
Yeah,
I mean, that's it's a tough thing to connect with youth. A lot of people think it's easy, or maybe it's not necessary. In different cultures and different ethnicities, it's something that is just assumed, like that youth have someone that is with them, that takes care of them, that introduces them to new things, and not everyone has that growing up.
For sure.
So seeing an organization do that and take on that, and then for you to come in and see that in multiple cities and say, I want to be a part of that, that's awesome.
Appreciate it.
So let's see, what motivated you? I know you talked about it a little bit, but what motivated you to get to where you are now?
Yeah, for sure. So I would definitely say growing up, having friends who may not have had the same parental structure that I had, just as smart, just as bright, just as skilled, but then not having the necessary opportunity that I did, it definitely gave me a heart to reach those who are kind of marginalized or not looked upon. And so, like I said, growing up, having certain friends not be able to get the same opportunities to go to college or kind of do some of the things from the heart kind of gave me a heart to just serve kids or serve young adults. So
that's awesome. If there is anything that you could do in Kalamazoo to transform it, what would it be?
If I could do anything, I would that's a great question. No. That's a great question.
And we could come back to it too. If you need to say.
Okay. Well, no. I mean, if anything, I would give people more. I'd make getting resources easier. So you have at least in Battle Creek, there were a lot of times people just didn't have access to resources, or people didn't know how to reach them. So if anything, I would create a system that makes resources and opportunity more available to students. So if you have people in low income families with housing issues. I messed that up. It's all right. Okay, cool. But pretty much I would just make resources more available for the public. So
okay.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. What are some of your favorite things about Kalamazoo?
Favorite things?
Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed college. That was my first time being outside of where I'm living, outside of Battle Creek. And so just being able to go, I'm a sports guy. So being able to go to a football game, a basketball game, a baseball game, and then right after just where you jump and then you can dunk it. What's that place called? Sky Zone.
Sky Zone. I think it has a different name.
Does it?
Already.
Okay, yeah. But you don't have anything like that in Battle Creek. So just being able to, have fun with that and do, certain things with my friends was pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's awesome. So you said you like basketball.
Oh, big basketball guy.
Okay, can we chop it up about basketball?
Let's chop it up with basketball.
Okay. So what's your favorite team?
Favorite team?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I had to pick a team now, I would say Golden State.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you think they're a dynasty?
Yes and no. So, player, I'm a big Michael Jordan fan. So when I think of dynasties, I think about the Bulls dynasty.
Okay. Yep.
And so when I think of a dynasty, I would say yes, because I'm thinking 3+ championships within a certain, amount of time, and then consistency, reaching the conference finals. And so I would say so.
Okay. I like Golden State. Who's your favorite player?
Michael Jordan, hands down.
Okay. Yeah, you did say that. What's your current favorite player that's playing right now?
Current favorite player.
Maybe injured, but active roster. So
before I answer this, I would say a lot of people, they often mistake their favorite player for the best player. Okay. And I think there's a difference. So I would say my favorite player right now is Kyrie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's the best?
Best? The best player right now. I'd have to say Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Kevin Durant.
Okay. All right. You think they're going to do something in Phoenix?
I do. I think the addition with Bradley Beal and Booker, I'm honestly surprised they lost to Denver last year, but I think with that piece of Bradley Beal, they're probably going to go to if not the Western Conference Finals, to the finals. So.
Okay. What do you think about Milwaukee, what they're doing?
I love it. I'm a big Dame fan, And so I think to see what he did in Portland as far as his loyalty and his consistency, I think he deserves to be with somebody like Giannis. Yeah. And I think what people don't recognize is you have a center and a guard. You don't have two guards.
Right.
So I really, like, similar to Shaq and Kobe, like, I really think it's going to work for them. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Shaq and Kobe. That's a big comparison. But I think Shaq did call him Superman at one point. Or maybe
I think that was Dwight.
That was Dwight. But he was, I think Giannis wanted that.
He did compare him to.
He wanted that accolade to say, like, that's me.
Yeah.
No, I had to ask about that just because I know you're a basketball guy, and plus, like, when you've been here for an event, we played 2K. Yep. I'm not gonna say who won, but
I think I won. Did I?
Okay. Anyway, all right. I gotta keep it civil on this podcast. Now I gotta look for the next question. You threw me off. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Question. So you were from Battle Creek,
correct?
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. If the Kalamazoo Promise was available to you, what would that have changed?
Man, so I'll say first off, I would have went to school out of state. Promise allows you to do that, right?
Not out of state.
Oh, it doesn't? Okay,
No.
so maybe not. Okay, so if anything, I probably would have went to just a college outside of the Denver area, somewhere in Michigan.
Yeah.
And so the reason I said out of state was because the year before I went to Western, I went to Morehouse, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And so.
And Morehouse is
HBCU.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
HBCU is what?
Historical Black College.
There it is.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, no, just the environment, the culture, like, easily would have been my top choice. But like I said, it was right before it was in the spring. I had committed to Western in the fall. And so, with the Kalamazoo Promise, I definitely would have probably looked at Michigan State.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
No, that's awesome. No, I do that because sometimes people are listening, they don't know.
Makes sense.
I don't do it with everything, but whenever I do remember, I'm like, okay, I actually have to say this whole abbreviation.
For sure.
So with your role now, do you feel like it was easy to get into your role? Like, is where you're at now, is it where you expected to be when you were going to school?
So yes and no.
Okay.
So I did expect to be in the nonprofit sector after school, but after grad school, in the middle of grad school, my goal was to be a director. So to either run my own nonprofit or to be a director of one. And I quickly found out I don't want to manage people. So I definitely think in my role as far as impacting, just because I can do grants. Most of the issues with nonprofits, they don't have funding. And so when you have money, you can do all the ideas and visions that you plan to do.
So with grants, sorry, I'm adding a little questions. With grants, how is it an easy process to get grants, or is it difficult? Like, what is it? What goes into grant writing?
Yeah. So I would say the process is pretty simple, but it's more so telling that story. And so similar to journalism, it's a different type of writing. And so once you can tell that story, because you could be doing something great, but if you don't know how to articulate that on paper to a foundation, they're not going to know the great things you're doing. And so what really goes into, you have, of course, the grant body, which is the articulation of the work you're doing. You have budgets, so they know what money is going toward. And then, of course, the process of time. So you have multi-year grants where pretty much they'll give you funding for 2 or 3 years. And so that encompasses the bigger portion of it. And then once you submit it and then they see your vision, then that's kind of how it goes. Okay.
So with your grant writing, are you exclusively for Men of Purpose doing grant writing, or is it kind of like a freelance where you could do grant writing for other people?
It's freelance. Okay. And so I started writing grants in 2020. And that's where I first learned. And then I wrote grants for Open Roads Bike Program, Premier Athletics, and now Men of Purpose. Okay. And so I recognize everybody needs funding. Like, that's what most nonprofits are run off, grants, and then, of course, sponsorships, and then other, private donors. But a big bulk of their the financial part is grants. And so when I'm able to write a grant, they get money, and then they're able to execute, which ultimately impacts a kid. That's kind of like I'm helping them, you know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, I didn't want to necessarily direct or manage people. So that's a way for me to still make an impact within that sector. Okay.
No, that's interesting. I'm curious about grant writing. Just because, I mean, the promise, we don't write for grants because we already have the funding that we need. Right. So that's something that I guess is kind of missed in my role as far as learning what it's like doing grant writing. So thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that.
For sure. Can I add something?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I would say for those who like have a nonprofit idea, to me, grants is a good tool, but I don't think it's end all be all. Like similar when you said the promise, you guys have donors. And so grants to me is like a spare tire. Like it'll get you from point A to point B to point C, but you shouldn't live off of it just because foundations one day may stop giving you grants and then all funding stops. So I think the overall goal is to have some type of either product or private donor where they can keep the money coming in. So.
If you were going to have a nonprofit, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a great question. So honestly, it would have to deal with finances. Okay. Because we're not taught about taxes. We're not taught about credit, which is a little separate, but bank accounts, things like that. So it would have to deal with finances. And whenever I talk to the kids in the community, the biggest subject they don't like is math. Like, and so I'm like, you're gonna have to. That's
like a start.
That's a start. And so if I had to create a nonprofit, it would have to deal with finances, financial literacy, just giving them the basics. On the side, I like to invest. I definitely think that's another organic stream of income you can have on top of your job. And so it would definitely be around that area.
That's awesome. I mean, generational wealth. There's all these multiple streams of income. That's something that we don't necessarily learn growing up. It's like, okay, go to school, go get this job, and then you're good. Right. But there's people who already are set up for that. Yep. And then they're also set up with, okay, what's the next thing? What's the other things? Right. Which is something that like even I need to learn about. I've dabbled in this and that, but I'm still like, I'm grown and I'm like, how do you start? Right. How do you do an LLC? How do you do this? Right. What are those steps? And it's like, I'm learning from social media or whatever I can research, which I'm like, this should be part of like a curriculum, somewhere. This needs to be a thing. Because these are the things that definitely change lives. When you have this information, then you can pass it on to your kids and say, hey, I'm gonna get you set up with this trust. I'm gonna set you up with this. Here's your credit card. Here's this and this, and you're already good when you're 21.
Exactly.
But we don't have that. So I like that idea. I might hit you up in a few years when you got it.
do it while I'm free.
All right. I got you. If there was a gold nugget of information that you would share with someone who wanted to do the same work as you, what would it be?
So I would say two things. I would say, which people overlook, gold nugget. Soft skills are more important than hard skills. Okay, so what I mean by that is people think they need a certain level of education. They need a certain skill, which are great, but soft skills such as showing up on time, time management, being nice, being integral, those things will take you way further than a degree will, in my opinion. So
yeah, you showed up early too.
Exactly. I'm punctual.
Right. No, I was like, yep. All right, here we go.
Yeah. But then, my second thing is, although I think it's great to work, it does have some type of consistency. I think you should always have a plan B and a plan C, whether it's something you naturally love to do, cutting hair, me, Grant. So like you should always have something in your side pocket, that you can go to. Okay. So
I like that. I used to cut hair back when I had hair.
Where? That's what's up.
Yeah, it's crazy. I still line my beard up. So
I thought about going bald, but I don't got a beard.
Hey, just wait. It'll connect and you'll be all right.
It looks nice, man.
I appreciate it. But you still got it. Use it while you got it.
Yeah, no, man. But I don't want to put too much hope in it. It's all right, though.
You got the right facial structure.
I appreciate it.
So some people, if you got the wrong head for it, it
don't work.
It doesn't look right. I mean, it happens. Some people got like a little peanut head, or they got or it's like goes like this.
They got peanut head and they don't have a beard.
Yeah, I mean, you out here looking like a potato. Yeah. Like it's not good. It's not good. Anyway, we getting off topic. Do you have any questions for me?
Not so much questions, but I appreciate what you guys do. The Kalamazoo Promise. I think your guys are affecting a lot of people, even when they don't take advantage of it a year or two after. Because they can still do it?
10 years.
10 years? Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I think that's great.
Hey, thank you. I mean, I used it. I took like 5 years before I really started using it. So that just speaks to it. Like, I didn't want to go to school when I first graduated high school. I was like, no, I'm good. And just started working some random jobs. I was cooking, or first I was dishwashing, cooking, and I was like lead cook, opening the kitchen, and I was just like, oh, this is as far as it goes.
Is that a passion of yours?
I enjoy cooking.
Yeah.
I do. In my spare time, I'll whip some stuff up.
Okay.
So yeah. So that could be my side.
Could,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah.
I love these podcasts because I'm just getting ideas. I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I could do that.
And something small, you can sell dinners. Most people do that, but what
Right.
you really could do, create a nonprofit that teaches kids how to cook.
Okay.
Then you apply for a grant.
Oh,
Now you
and
got
I know a grant writer.
and I ain't too expensive either. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying?
Oh, see. All right, we cooking with gas right now. Okay.
So,
Whew. All right, I'm excited now. Okay. How can someone get involved in the work that you're doing?
yeah. So, honestly, there's a lot of nonprofits in Kalamazoo. A lot of them have similar missions, a little bit different, of course, but whatever your passion is, whether it be kids or a specific industry like cooking, like I would just look for organizations that deal with that area. So like sports, I'm into sports. And so with Big Brothers Big Sisters, I'm able to have the best of both worlds, serve kids, and then of course there's a sports aspect to it. So.
That's awesome. What's your contact for people to reach you?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So I don't want to give them a personal number, but I would say
like an email.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So Kyrone Maye at bbbsmi.org. Okay.
Perfect. Not too personal.
Not too personal.
Yeah.
Worst case, look up Big Brothers Big Sisters on Google and call that number and ask for Kyrone.
There you go. That's what I did.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Exactly. Right.
But it works. So I can speak to that it actually works. So anyway, is there anything else you wanna chop it up about or?
No. Oh, I do want to ask you something.
Okay.
I think I had this conversation with you.
Yeah.
Did you say LeBron was better than Michael? Was that you?
Okay, so this is a tough conversation.
I don't think it's that.
I didn't say it, but it is something that I consider and I go back and forth on. It's hard to deny what Michael did, right? He did, 6 championships, came back, got another, all that. But LeBron's athleticism, his health, what he's been doing, his stats, it competes with it. It's not necessarily better. I'm not going to say he's better. I'm not saying that. He's got the same last name as me, though, so
got you.
He's family.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I put them neck and neck.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that's what we're going to do. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. Anyway, okay. Or no, you asked me that. You asked me that. Cool. I think they're close. Okay. I think one is better in different ways. So that makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I got to stay neutral on this. But anyway, I think we can wrap it up there.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah, we can wrap it up.
All right. So thank you for coming and sharing your story. People need to hear it. Thank you. Just want you to know you're ready. Be confident and know that you have everything you need.
I appreciate it.